What's up guys, Kurt here, and this is my Seiko 5 Sports model number SBSA011. This is part of Seiko's new Seiko 5 Sports lineup, and this is the JDM version. The non-JDM version would be the SRPD61K1, but I wanted to get the Japanese version because I felt like it, and you can clearly see they're made in blurriness. There you go. Made in Japan. So good. And there are a bunch of different versions for this watch, as I will show you right here in these little pictures right there. Many different colors and styles to choose from. I think it's a pretty cool addition to their lineup, although a bit pricey, and I'll explain how I feel about that at the end of the review. Anyway, let's get into it. This uses the 4R36 automatic mechanical movement. No batteries, no solar, nothing. Just a bunch of shaky with the rotor. Powers the movement. That's a little easy, but it's much more complicated than that. This employs 24 joules, the movement that is. It beats at 21,600 BPH and has a power reserve of about a little more than 41 hours. It is also somewhat anti-magnetic to 4,800 amperes per meter. The crystal is a Hardlex mineral crystal. It is not a sapphire crystal, unfortunately, but that's perfectly fine for most people. It is prone to scratching, but you know, it is not a sapphire like I mentioned. The dial is really cool. I love that green dial in this version, and they did clean it up a bit. Gone is that ugly 5 shield, and now they have incorporated that smashed S5, which is kind of cool. They got the Seiko S and 5 in one thing in the middle. The automatic is, you know, I don't know. I think they could have done a better job on the automatic wordage, making it a little bit more, I don't know, a little more serious looking, but that's what they did, and it's still okay. The rest of the dial is pretty clean. The indices and the Seiko logo are applied. The hands are pretty standard for this watch. This one has the black edging on the edge, and the lume is actually pretty good. I'll check that out later. The chapter ring is green, and it lines up. Look at the way it lines up. Would you just look at it? Would you just look at the lining up of everything? I mean, am I tripping? Does that look lined up to you? Oh, maybe not, huh? Maybe, I don't know. Nope. The bezel and the see, this bottom part of the Seiko thing, I don't know, it might be just the way that my camera is. Let's look at this one right here. That looks pretty lined up over here, and that looks pretty lined up over there. The 6 o'clock one looks pretty lined. I don't know, it all looks pretty good. It looks pretty dang good, or as close as possible, and I think Seiko did a really good job. That green insert is an aluminum insert. The bezel is a 120 clickety-click unidirectional bezel, and it's a little bit disappointing for the tactile feel. Some of you tactile nuts will just love the way super ratchety bezels feel. This one is very soft. It's almost like a gentle summer breeze on your backside. You know what I mean? No, it's not. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm an idiot. Okay. And that's that. Look at that. It is very pretty, isn't it? I love that. Here's the sides of the bezel. The bezel has a lot of grip. It grips very well. The dual channel grip situation here does work very well, like a redesigned tire. The sides of the case are nicely polished. The tops are nicely brushed. It has a nice satin feel to it, to the brushing. The crown isn't signed, but it also has a radial brushing and nicely knurled edges. It is not a screw-down crown, hence the 100-meter water resistance is not a screw-down crown, but it does offer hacking seconds because of that 4R36 movement, but no screw-down crown. But they don't want this to be a diver, so that's why you're not going to get the screw down functionality, which is kind of a bummer, but whatever's. The case back is a see-through case back, which shows off that newly stamped rotor of the 4R36 movement there. There you go. Like so much not butter. I don't know what that means. And let's discuss the bracelet here. The bracelet is a Seiko 5 Sports bracelet. It is a typical Seiko 5 Sports bracelet in that it is made out of hollow links. and I'm gonna give a wipey McWipe here. You can see clearly, the folding of those hollow links. There is a nice shot of those folding links, which they've done a pretty good job on, if I do say so myself, but hollow nonetheless. And just like the SKX predecessor before it, it does not offer solid end links. The SKX007 does not have solid end links. They just have really robust bars, which is perfectly fine. The rest of the bottom of the case is polished. The bracelet on the tops are just brushed throughout and done very nicely. So I've already scratched this up a couple. I've been wearing this for about 2 weeks and I've already got some scratches on it. The clasp over system is actually the same. It's the same as any old Seiko 5 Sports. This part, the butterfly effect part, might be slightly better polished than most, but still kind of not perfect. Typical clasp over security system. This is a really nice shot of it. It does look pretty dang good. It offers a good amount of micro adjustments, and the pin system for the bracelet is actually a lot easier than in other previous Seiko 5 Sports that I've had. It was actually really easy, almost too easy. I don't know what I mean. It was too easy. Let's put it on my wrist. My wristicle situation. By the way, this is all 316L stainless steel, as one would expect, and it has a slightly warm glow to the material. Does look big on my 6.5-inch wrist, but that's okay because that's the way I like it. You know what I mean? Look at that. It almost looks fake. This watch almost looks fake on my wrist. It's just beefy. It just looks beefy as hell. I love it. This is a very, very pretty, yet expensive, and almost not worth it watch. Okay, let's check the measurements, shall we? And let's look at my email here. Okay. So case, I got 42.5 from the approximate center of the case, as you would normally measure it. But from the case to the crown edge, I got 44 millimeters. Lug to lug, 46.3 millimeters. Thickness, 13.6 millimeters, and lug width 22 millimeters. And now it's time to check the lume. Check the lume, check the lume, make it glow. Check the lume, use a light, make it glow. Check the lume, check the lume. Alright guys, we got it up against my SKX007 mod, which is going to have a loomed insert from LCBI, and an Orient Kamasu. But for super shits and giggles, I'm going to put it up against this $87 Orient. Let me turn on this light real quick. I'm going to put it up against this $87 Orient 3-star that I got off of eBay, which is actually pretty sick. It's a bit bigger than most Orient 3-stars. If I could somehow focus.com here. Let me just move this real quick. This is a pretty cool watch. For $87, you're getting a not bad watch. I think it's way better than a Seiko 5. And it actually makes me pretty happy. But anyway, let's check the lume here. I have not checked the lume for these two watches yet. This is gonna be the first time I've checked the lume for these two. So ISO at 1600 for your faceball vision. And I'm just gonna blast it with light before I turn off the lights, but I'm gonna turn off one of the lights anyway. And we're gonna just blast it with light here, blinding my face with the reflections. And blinding and blinding and blinding. Bake, 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 back and forth, and go. Alrighty, right away the SKX007 looks like it is burning the retina of your faces because of all that lume. But surprisingly, the $87 Orient 3-star is doing pretty dang good, if I just do say so myself. It does look like it's not too uniformed in the way it's set up, but it's pretty good for $87. The new Seiko 5 Sports watch over to the second to the left doing very, very well. The Orient Kamasu looks like it's already starting to fade out, while the SKX, the dial of the SKX, looks like it's getting a little muddy. A little bit muddy, while the new Seiko 5 Sports is just baking on and on and on. That is to be expected. It's a new watch and it has a new lume, and you know, they try to make things better as time progresses. Sometimes they go backwards, as Seiko has found out, but or as we have found out as customers, sometimes Seiko goes backwards. But this is, the lume is definitely a step forward from a previous Seiko 5 Sports in a very, very minute way. As you can see, it is kicking the Seiko, the 007's ass in terms of brightness. I'm not sure about the longevity of the lume, but as it stands right now, it is winning. And let's get back onto the show with all the lights. I have 4 nuclear reactors going off here, guys. It's really hot. It's really hot when I do these videos. I'm not joking. So, by the way, the Jubilee bracelet does not quite fit on this. It fits, but the pins are just too big for this case. You're gonna need to get some smaller pins for this bracelet, but then it's just gonna be a little bit rickety. Anyway, so final thoughts. Freaking love this thing. This thing is badass. This is a McLovin watch right here. It's freaking beautiful, and you know, they have something for everybody in terms of colors and styles, and I think it's great. The price, on the other hand, not so good. $335 was just, it's like being stabbed in the spleen when I ordered it, but I did it for you guys. And for the same price, you can get a Seiko Turtle, a Seiko Samurai for about the same price. You can get other watches that are just fundamentally better than the Seiko 5 Sports. Or you can go cheaper and get an Orient Kamasu, which is a diver's watch. It's not an actual diver's watch, but it is a 200-meter dive watch with a screw-down crown. I would trust this far more than this watch for going actually diving. But if you just want the new things, then by all means get it, man. I did, and I love it. I'm gonna regret it when I see it go down in price. But as it stands now, I freaking love it. I can't wait to try on all kinds of new straps and stuff, and maybe some other bracelets. And let's see what the boys have to say. Yeah, are we still doing this?
Yeah, this is so stupid. Everybody hates us. We got called cringy.
Yeah, we're cringy. You know that hurt our feelings so bad? I had 5 feelings, and all 5 of them were hurt.
I only had 2.5 feelings.
Yeah, that's because you're a cold-ass reptilian.
Yeah, but you're a turtle.
Yeah, but I'm not a reptile.
Idiot.
Okay, well, what do you guys think about the watch? Well, it's green, so it's badass.
Yeah, green is good. Green is the new green. Black.
Green is the new green black? You idiot. Well, anyway, yeah, I think it's really nice. You're getting a really good watch, but for the price, like you said, it's a little bit expensive, and you could probably, you know, for $335, I would buy so many of the things that I have in my drawer that I don't talk about.
Yeah, things that have all kinds of noises and batteries and stuff like that.
You know what? Remote control cars.
Yeah, cars.
Okay, so you think that our audience should buy it? I think that they should buy it if they freaking want it.
And if they don't freaking want it, then they shouldn't buy it.
Sage advice from the boys. Yep. So, all right, guys. To the audience, I'm glad you could come check out this obviously brilliant review from Minitwatch. May your peanut be happy, and thanks for watching. Yeah.